Hi guys, this is our last session for week 4. I thought some of you might show up for some help, and that might still be the case. But while we're waiting on that, I'm going to go through making your gallery again and uploading everything to Business Catalyst. It was a little fast yesterday, so we're going to see if we can't do it a second time and give you 2 chances to get everything uploaded. Switch over to my desktop here. And you're going to go to site, just like always, manage site, and you're going to go to your lawn care site. Make sure it's highlighted and then hit done. It's going to open up all your pages. Now, we've already done my gallery page once, but we're going to pretend we haven't. And you're going to go down and you're going to find your main tag, your body tag. Close your header. Then you're going to see your main tag. Everything between that header, those 2 main tags, everything between the 2 main tags needs to be deleted. You're going to leave that closing main tag. So when you're done, you're going to have 2 main tags and nothing in between them. And the first thing you're going to create is a row tag. So you're going to do a div class equals row. And hit your enter key. And then you're going to create a div for your dark banner because we need it to say inspirational gallery. So we're going to do div class equals dark dash banner. And then you are going to do an H1. And in between the H1 tags, you're going to type inspirational gallery. Then you're going to find the closing tag for that row. Your div tag that says row. Find that closing tag. Put your cursor after it and hit your enter key. And then you're going to go over to the insert panel, which is over on the right-hand side of your screen. If you do not see it up there, you can go to Windows at the top of your screen and go down and click on Insert. Then you're going to see a little drop-down box right here in the top. And you're going to click on Carousel. Just going to make a basic carousel. So you're going to click it. And mine's giving me that message because I already have some script in here. And it's going to insert your code all for you. It's probably going to open up your header tag again, just like it did mine. Go ahead and close it so it's out of your way. And then you're going to see all the code that it inserted for you between your main tags. Now we have to edit that code. You're going to go down and you're going to find your LI tags, which are between the OL tags, your ordered list tags. And you should have 3 LI tags. Go to that very last one and go to the very end of it and hit your enter key. And you're going to create another LI tag that looks just like the line above it. So it's going to say LI data dash target equals quotations # carousel 1. Put your cursor after that last quotation mark and hit your space bar. And then type data dash slide dash 2. The word 2, not the number, just 2. T-O. The equal sign, quotations, and you're going to put a number 3. And put your cursor after that last quotation and add your bracket for that LI tag, which will automatically create that closing bracket for you. Put your cursor after that closing tag and hit your enter key. you're going to do this again, the exact same thing, except for this time, you're going to number it as a 4. Data dash slide dash 2 equals 4. Don't forget your bracket. That's usually the number one mistake, is you forget that little greater than sign right there. Don't forget it. It's your enter key. We need to do it 3 more times. So li data, oops, target equals quotations pound carousel 1 data slide 2 equals this time 5 and your bracket, and then go to the very end of that closing tag, hit your enter key, and li data target equals pound carousel 1 space data slide dash 2 equals 6. Now we need one more. Very end of that closing tag. Hit your enter key. Li data target equals pound carousel 1. Put your space bar. Data slide 2 equals 7. That gives us a total of 8 placeholders because it starts counting at 0. So that gives us 8 placeholders in our carousel. That's what you've done right there. You've made 8 placeholders. So now you're going to skip down and find that closing OL tag. And then right underneath that, you're going to see the div class carousel inner. Go down to the very next div tag. It's going to say div class equals item active. Right at the end of that, you're going to see your image tag. You're going to say img space src equals, and it's going to have quotations. You're going to delete everything that is between that set of quotations. Leave all the alt text and all the class text. Just delete what's in between the source quotations. And then type images. And then find your gallery 1 image. Now, if you haven't already, you need to go into your Finder. You need to go to your site root folder. And you need to go into the lawn care site images folder, your starter files. You need to copy all of your gallery images and then go into your site root folder and go into your images folder and paste them. That way you can choose them here very quickly. So we have the first one, and then you're going to, right after that image tag, right after that little closing bracket, after the class rule, you're going to see another div that says carousel caption. You're going to erase that. Just highlight all the way to that closing div tag and hit your delete key. And hit it a second time to get rid of that space. And then you're going to see right after that your div class item. And then you're going to see an image tag that says source equals. Once again, you're going to delete everything between the source's quotation mark. And then you're going to type images dash gallery. Oops, I didn't spell images all the way. Images gallery. Uh-oh, sorry guys, I have a spinny. This little rainbow of death. There we go. Okay, then you can start the gallery and you pull it up. It should pull up the picture you want when you start typing, and you can just choose it from the list. We need image 2. And then right underneath that, you'll see that div class carousel caption again. You're going to delete it also. And then right under that, you're going to see the div class item tag again. And you're going to see your image source equals. Delete everything between the quotation marks for that source file. And then type images in your gallery, and this time we need 3. There's our gallery 3. And then once again, the next div tag you're going to see is the carousel caption. Delete it. And then put your cursor at that ending div tag and hit your enter key, because now you have to actually type code. You're going to type the exact same thing you see up above it, starting with that opening div tag that says class equals item. I'm going to do div class equals item, cursor after the quotation, put the closing bracket for that div, and you're going to have 2 div tags, and your cursor is going to be between them. Now you're going to make an image tag, img space src equals quotations images, and now we need our gallery 4 image. Hit your enter key, your space bar, and you're going to do alt equals quotation fourth slide image. Hit your space bar, and class equals quotations center dash block. Don't forget your little closing tag for your image, that little greater than sign. Put your cursor at the end of that closing div tag and hit your enter key. That was your 4th image, so we need to do that all over again. We're going to go div class equals item, cursor after the quotation marks, and put your little closing bracket, your little greater than sign there, and then do an image tag, img src equals images gallery, and this time we're going for 5. Space alt equals quotations, and this is our 5th image. 5th slide image. Put your cursor after the quotations, hit your space bar, and it's class equals quotations images. Oops, no, I'm sorry. Class equals quotation center block. And don't forget that greater than sign. And then put your cursor after that closing div tag and hit your enter key. Now we need to do it for our image 6. So we make another div with a class equals item. Don't forget the greater than sign. And then an image tag, img src equals quotation images slash gallery, and this time we need number 6. And then space, alt text, alt equals quotations 6th slide image. Cursor after the quotations, don't forget the greater than sign. Oh, we've got our class. Hit a space after that quotation and do class equals quotation center block. And then put your cursor at the end of that closing div tag. Now we need to do our 7th image. So div class equals item, and then an image tag, And we're on gallery 7. Your alt text. Seventh slide image. And then your class. Center block. Don't forget that greater than sign and cursor at the end of the div tag and hit enter. And then div class equals item. Then an image tag. And we're on our image 8. Alt text. And our class. Oops. Class equals quotation center block. And don't forget that greater than sign. That gives you all 8 of your images. Everything else is already done for you. You can leave it. You don't have to edit any more of that code. Just click on split view. And then you're going to see your images gallery. You can check all your sizes, make sure it's working. 450, it should look good. Cell phone size, it should look good. You're going to notice some additional colors on your ruler bar. That's fine. Because you used a Bootstrap component, it's going to add some CSS for you. So now, let me clear my drawing here. In your Files panel, you're going to see some additional files. You're going to have a CSS folder that's going to have a Bootstrap CSS file in it. You're going to see a fonts folder. You're going to see a JS folder. Those are now all part of your site root, guys, and those have to be turned in with your site root folder. In order to grade your final, I have to have all of your files, and that includes all the new folders that it created. And that is uploading, making your gallery. So now let's talk about uploading to your website. In Business Catalyst, it's just www.businesscatalyst.com. You're going to sign in using the exact same login that you do for your CC. Once you've signed in, you're going to see a page that looks something like this. First thing you need to check is to see if you can click in this top left-hand corner on the little drop down next to BC and whatever it happens to say right there. We are looking right here. Once you've clicked that drop down, you should have an option. If you have a drop down, it's going to say create new site. Just click it. And it's going to ask you what you want to do. You're going to use a free responsive template. You're going to hit continue. And you're going to choose your CSS, your HTML. And then you're going to hit continue. You're going to give it a site name. You can call it lawn care, but since I've already done that once this week, I'm going to call it something a little different. And you're going to do create trial site. It's going to pull you up to this congratulations screen. And then you're going to hop over and you're going to check the email that's associated with your Creative Cloud. And you should have an Adobe Business Catalyst email waiting on you. You're going to click on it because you're going to need some of this information. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to copy where it says site. You're going to highlight that and copy it and go back to Dreamweaver. You're going to go up to the very top and you're going to click on site up there next to Windows, right up here at the top of your screen. And then you're going to choose manage site. You're going to hit your pencil icon and you're going to click on servers. And you're going to hit your plus sign. Let me go ahead and minus that. You're going to hit your plus sign and you're going to give it a server name. I'm just going to call it Lawn Care. You're going to change FTP to SFTP. Where it says SFTP address, you're going to paste what you just copied from your email. And then you're going to click down here in username. You're going to go back to your email. You notice that it has this little blank here that says username. This is not the username you want. Ignore where it says username. You're going to go down and you're going to copy in this little bitty text underneath username, the long username. All of that right there. Copy it all. Try not to get that period that's at the end. Copy it. Bring back to Dreamweaver. And then username, you're going to paste what you just copied. Check the end. Make sure you didn't get the period. And then use your arrow keys on your keyboard to go back to the beginning and make sure you didn't accidentally copy the space. Those are the number 2 things that usually happen that give you an error. Then you're going to click in the password. Your password is the exact same thing you use to log on to Creative Cloud. And then you're going to hit test. FTP error occurred. First thing I want you to check is your password. Most likely you mistyped it. Retype it and then test it again until you get the successful connection. Make sure you've checked your username and there's no space before the beginning of it and there's no period at the end, and make sure that you have typed your password correctly. Those are the things that usually keep you from making a connection. And then click OK. And then click Save once you get a successful connection. Save again, and it's going to say the root folder you have chosen is the same as the folder for the site. Yours probably won't say this unless you accidentally linked your site twice, but because I have taught this class so many times, it's in my cache. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to hit Done. Now, in your Files panel, over here on the right-hand side, it's your Files tab. It's on top. You're going to click this little plug-in icon right here. Click it, and it's going to show itself plugged in. You might get that little box popped up. Once it's plugged in, then you're going to click this up file. Oops, not that up file. You're going to click this up file right here, this little up arrow. Make sure that you have your Site Lawn Care folder highlighted and not one of these files down here. And then click your up arrow. Are you sure you wish to put the entire site? Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. So you just hit OK. And you're going to see the little box showing you that it's uploading your files. It may take it a few minutes. So you've got a lot of files now. Once it's uploaded, you're going to click back on your web browser. You're going to go back to the Adobe DC Partner panel. And you're going to click on Manage Site. It's going to ask you for your email address and password. Again, the same as your CC. And it's going to bring up that site for you. So the next thing you're then going to do is you're going to click on Site Manager over here on the left-hand side. And you're going to click on Pages. Now you'll notice, you'll see all your pages here. Contact, Crew, Gallery. And then you see this home page, and then your index page and your services page. We need to get rid of this home page. So you're going to go over to the right, put a check mark by it on the left, and then go all the way over to the right and click Edit. And then at the very bottom of your screen, way down here at the bottom, is a delete button. Click delete. It's going to say, are you sure you want to delete this? You're just going to hit OK. It's going to delete it. All done. You're going to go back over to the left and click on Dashboard. And then you're going to click on the blue link that has your site name. And it's going to pull up your website. Test your buttons. Make sure all your pages are working. And if they all come up and are linked properly, make sure that navigation bar is working. It's a lot of points off this week, guys, if your navigation bar does not work. So check every page and make sure you can go to all the pages you need to go to. And that is uploading to Business Catalyst. Make sure that when you get ready to turn it in, you're going to copy this link to your website. Just copy it. In your Finder, you are going to zip your site root folder, the folder that contains all of your HTML files, all of your CSS files, your JS folder, your fonts folder, your images folder, the CSS folder. I have to have all of that to grade your final. Failure to turn in your entire site root folder will result in a 0. I cannot grade it without all of those files. Make sure that you zip that entire folder so that I get everything. Okay, Brittany, you're having trouble with Business Catalyst?
Well, I mean, now since I see that you actually showed how to do it, I think I should be able to follow this and do it right now.
Okay. But do you want to try it now to make sure, or are you good?
I logged into Business Catalyst, but and I'm on that My Sites thing that you told us to go to, but after that, you went kind of fast on doing everything else, so I'm kind of like stuck on the My Sites thing, so I don't know what to really do after that.
Okay. Well, guys, that is the carousel page. Not going to take you long to complete that. The biggest portion of it is getting everything uploaded. If it goes smoothly, not going to take you long at all to finish the final. And we talked a little bit about your paper yesterday. But again, guys, the sources you use are really entirely up to you. Make sure it comes from a reputable site. I would strongly suggest that all of you use W3C as one of your sources, because it is the best website that you could possibly use for web design. It is kind of like the website design Bible. I mean, everything is there that you could possibly need, and they have great tutorials. They are definitely all the time up to date. They are the web consortium guys, and they make all the rules. They determine what's the best practices. They come up with the HTML like Bootstrap, W3C, all of that kind of things that makes web design so much easier on us as web designers. That site is my go-to site, and any professional web designer that I have ever come in contact with uses W3C. It is virtually impossible to remember everything that has to do with web design, because some things you will only use occasionally, whereas other things you're going to use all the time, like image tags and div tags and things like, you're going to use those all the time. So you're going to remember those things. But if you have a customer come to you and say, hey, I need to know how to make an object move on the screen using CSS. Well, that is advanced CSS kind of stuff. It's not stuff you're going to use often, so you're going to need W3C to help you determine how to do that. And it also, W3C also has a, let's see if it's still linked on their homepage. If you ever having trouble, can't figure out an error in your code, something's just not working right, and you need to have it checked and verified, W3C HTML validator. You can Google that, and it will come up with the validator.w3.org. And you click on it, and you give it an address. If you've already uploaded it to the web, you can give it its web address, or you can validate by file upload. So I could do choose file. And go to my site root folder, and let's check the index page. You go check. Document checking completed. No errors or warnings to show. So that means the page is absolutely perfect. You can also find a CSS checker. W3 CSS validator. Coding type, UTF-8, document type is CSS. Oh, looks like I clicked on the wrong link. Oops. Go back. Yes, there it is. Why won't you get to more options? There it is. There's a little link on that page. Okay, here's the CSS validation. File upload, choose, and I'm going to choose my style sheet and hit check. This says, congratulations, no errors found, to show your readers that you've taken the care to create that type of website and you've had it certified saying that everything's good. You can actually put the W3C CSS check logo on it to show that it's been verified and everything's good. Just something to think about. But these are great ways to find errors in your code because it gives a little more explanation than what Dreamweaver gives you. So if you're ever struggling with that, you can use these validators to check it, and it will give you a little more information than what Dreamweaver sometimes does. You do not have to do the HTML and CSS Dream Checker. I'm just showing you guys the different kinds of things you can find with W3C and why they are such a great source. W3 Schools is where you're going to find all your tutorials and things like that. This is where I go when I'm trying to remember how to do something I haven't done in a long time. So if I wanted to do, let's think here. The 3D transform in CSS. Well, I just searched it. That's what I did. When I click on it, we can see the different things it can do. And it gives you some options. You can do just the basic 3D transform, rotate X method. If you click on the try it yourself button and hit run, let's see. Internet Explorer 9 and earlier versions do not support this. Well, I'm not on one of those screens. Normal div element, and this is the one that has been rotated. Basically, it takes everything and places it upside down. That's a pretty cool option if you have something like that you need to do. And you can go through these and take the little tutorials, or you can just see the example code. Let's say there is something that you need to flip upside down. You hit try it yourself, and look right here. There's your style tag. So if you look between these style tags, you know these are the CSS rules that you need to have. You need to have those CSS rules. And then this is the example of the code for that box you're flipping upside down. So it tells you exactly what you need to type and that sort of thing to get these results. And you can do that on simple thing. It doesn't have to be anything major like I just did. Let's say you wanted to make another type of slideshow. I don't do slideshows every single time I make a web page. So sometimes I have to look when I have a customer come in that wants something that it's been a while since I created. And there are all kinds of slideshows that you can create. We see this all the time. This is the web page banner slideshow that's all the way across the home page, that sort of thing. And if you keep scrolling down this page, it will show you other types of slideshows. Next. Model image. That's a smaller type of a slideshow, and you can see that's what happens. It's like a light box. You roll over it, it kind of grays itself out. If the user clicks on it, it gets big in the center of the screen and blacks everything else out. And hit next again. The Lightbox model image gallery, where it makes rows and columns for you. And you click on them, it's big like that, and you can go through each one. It creates that Lightbox effect. And there's your code, guys, right there. There's all the code you need to create that slideshow, and it gives it to you in steps. This is step 1. Add your HTML. Step 2, here's all the CSS you need. And then step 3, there's the JavaScript you need. And then you've got the responsive image grid. If you've got a lot of images that are different sizes and that sort of thing, this kind of thing would be a good idea for you. And it resizes automatically on its own, kind of like the carousel. And you can just scroll through it. Again, in steps, there's all your code. They come out with new slideshows all the time. And this gives the users the ability to click on the grid and actually change the way they're seeing the pictures on the screen. Some more usability added there. And then you get into your image overlays. You can see on the left-hand side box that everything is listed here. I usually do searches. It makes it a little faster. But there are all of these nice examples. And anytime you click on Try It Yourself, it's going to show you the styles you need. It's going to show you any code that you need. Or if it has script, that script will be listed down here at the bottom. Brittany, it will probably take about an hour for the lecture to post after I'm finished. So guys, if nothing else, explore W3C School. You're going to use it, especially if you plan on doing web design in the future. Or when you're getting ready to do your own portfolio website and you don't want to do it in Muse. You want to do it a little more, do it with code and things like that so that you can advertise yourself. Your website is the best way to advertise yourself. You could do it in Muse and advertise Muse web design. You've got a perfect website there to show customers. Do it in code and you've got a perfect website there to show customers. If you plan on doing a mix, then do a mix. Do some of your pages in Muse, some of your pages in code, so that you can show your customers the difference. W3C School is going to be your go-to resource because it is so simple to understand. And you can actually see visuals, examples of the entire code, not just an example of that type of code and CSS together. You get to see the code. So you know you have to have those styles in your style sheet in order for it to work right. And you can just copy them and paste them into Dreamweaver. Just copy it and paste it to your style sheet. And then you're going to go down. Well, there's that body rule. We're all familiar with it, right? Anything between the body tags is what's visually seen in your browser. So we know fade and overlay. Well, we know they have that in between H2 tags. Let's say the only thing you want is this little box so that when they roll over it, it changes to something different. Well, that means you don't need any of this code. You don't need any of that code. So the code you actually need to copy is that container, right? So you're just going to copy those div tags that belong to that container. Copy them, paste them into Dreamweaver, and then change the image to what you need it to be. And then change the div class text to whatever you need it to be. If you don't want it to be text, you could make it another image. There's all kinds of things you could do here. What if we went back and you could change this in anything so then when they roll over it, it changes to something totally different. That is the best thing about W3 Schools because it gives you the code and you can simply copy it and paste it into Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver doesn't like copy and pasting code within Dreamweaver. But if you're copying code from an outside source and pasting it in Dreamweaver, everything is usually hunky-dory, and Dreamweaver doesn't mind that. It's just when you're copying code from one place in Dreamweaver and pasting it to another line in Dreamweaver, it tends to say, no, I don't want to do that. And it stops reading your code. It usually happens when you're copying and pasting. So that is W3C, guys, and they are going to be on top of every single advance in HTML or CSS or SEO or any of that, because usually they're involved in creating it if they didn't create it themselves. Those of you that have fallen in love with coding or think you may fall in love with coding, then I would strongly suggest that you go to the W3 Schools homepage. And let's see if they still have a link on their homepage. There's learning. You can advance, learn HTML, learn CSS, your JavaScript, PHP, jQuery. All of these are kind of like classes that you do in your own time. They're just like little tutorials that teach you how to do everything. I would definitely learn that, and I would also learn the W3.css. That is the new responsive CSS that you can actually download. You save it to your computer. I use it all the time. And things are already made responsive. You just have to kind of learn the different rules that apply for text and things like that. But if you go through this and actually learn it, it makes creating CSS a lot easier and will help you create CSS all on your own without using the W3 CSS. And this is a great tutorial. I've taken it more than once because I do use the W3.css a lot when I'm designing. I kind of did a sample like this. If you guys would think back to week 1, we kind of built div tags that look like this. Then I turned different colors to show you their responsiveness. Well, this goes through and tells you about the panels and the tags that you can use and all that kind of good stuff. The colors. So you could simply type background color red. This is the color you would get. Background color pink. That's the pink you would get. And so forth. These are all HTML5 compatible. Some of them are very, very new attributes that were created to add more customization to HTML5 and that sort of thing. Some great stuff. I strongly recommend you do go through these tutorials. On the home page, all of the tutorials are listed. So if there's something else that you're wanting to learn, you can learn JavaScript, you can learn SQL, web templates, learn XML, all kinds of stuff you can learn now. W3 is the go-to for me, and it's the go-to for a majority of every web designer there is, if not all of them. Everyone I've ever come in contact with has been W3 School, W3C. That's what we use when we need to learn things or need to remember things. So definitely check out that site. It will come in very handy later on, because after you've taken this class, it's going to be easy to forget the actual things we did. You're going to remember the fundamentals. You're going to sort of remember that code, but might not be real sure because you haven't used it in a long time. It happens, and it happens to all of us. You can simply go in to w3school.com, search what you're looking for, and then once you've seen it, you've done the try it yourself, and you looked at it, it's all going to start coming back to you. And at least, if nothing else, you're going to understand what you're looking at, because that much of this class you will have retained. Anyway, guys, it has been a great mod. Thank you guys for all of your hard work. You guys worked really hard this mod, and I know it. This is a tough class, but you guys have made it. You will make it through week 4, and then this class is over. Good luck to all of you next mod. I hope I see you again in one of my future classes.